my fellow comic book collectors, it's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and this is part 12 of this unboxing. And it's like, we're getting into the bigger books. We're into the bigger books now. These are, some pretty cool ones. Very, like, if you're into Precode horror, this is definitely the video for you, because there's going to be some pretty great Precode horror stuff. And we're going to just start out with some awesome one. This is Witch's Tales, number 19 from 1953. I forget who did the cover. Is it Lee Elias? Yeah, Lee Elias. Yeah, just a really great devil cover, fire cover. Lee Elias was one of the greats for the Golden Age. He, some of the bigger Witch's Tales are by him, like his covers. Definitely this is one of the cooler ones of the run. How we dare you, what does it say? We dare you to read these eerie tales of supernatural horror. So yeah, weird yarns of unseen terrors. Would you have entered the pact? So, a 2.0. It's not a super high grade, but presents reasonably well. It's just the bottom that's a bit rough. It includes a 1953 calendar, by the way, which is interesting. So just a really cool book, and has some lingerie on the back. I'm not sure why, but I don't know. It's sort of weird. I always wonder why they advertise certain things in comic books. It's probably boys that are going to be reading this, and yet they have like an ad that I would expect would appeal to girls. So I don't know. That's always weird to me. So definitely a cool book. So that's the first one. Next one is a series that I've been sort of collecting. I always try to complete a lot of series. This is definitely one of the ones that I've been very interested in. And I always like to get the bookends of any series. So the first and the last. Well, this is the first for Dark Mysteries. This is Dark Mysteries number 1. And it's, I believe it's Wally Wood, isn't it? Yeah, Wally Wood and Joe Orlando. So it's a mix of two great artists. And you got the girl in the red dress. You got this weird skeleton with wings. It looks like, it had wings at some point. So it's like, it's incredible. It's a skeleton with wings. The Curse of the Sea Witch, the Ghoul of Death. And another weight loss. they always seem to have a lot of weight loss or get in shape ones on comics. Maybe they know how the typical comic book reader is. The trope of the overweight comic book collector. Dark Mysteries number 1. And I won this on my comic shop in their auction. I was like super excited to win this because it's definitely one of the more difficult books to find. Nice Wally Wood cover. Artist I really like. Next one is another series. I just completed this series. This is a brutal series to complete, and it features just amazing covers. And this is one that has been a bit of a challenge to me. I'm actually not super happy with the way it's been slabbed, to tell you the truth, but I'll show you what I mean by that. So this is Mr. Mystery number 7. And it's the one where the girl in the red dress is being buried alive. So just a crazy cover. And this is a very pricey book. It's really hard. I have a bit of a story about this one. So what happened was this book, same grade, a 2.0, appeared on Heritage Auctions. And I was, watching the auction. I had the highest bid. Actually, I had a placeholder bid, and it was the highest bid. And I was talking to my brother on the phone as I'm watching the Heritage Auctions. And what happened was, I was talking to him, and I was like trying to watch the auction, talking to him, kind of watching the auction. And this book came up, And, you know, I'm like talking and like, it seems like everything's going fine. And then all of a sudden the bids go like really fast up. I'm like, what's going on? Why all of a sudden it's going crazy? So I put a bid in. I thought I actually won, but I'd lost. And it was like with buyer's premium, it was like $900. And I was like, oh man, did I win it or lose it? I didn't know. I didn't know if I won or not. Because, like, you know, sometimes it looks like that's the last bid, and sometimes it's not obvious. But I had lost. Actually, I had lost. And I was thankful that I lost because this same book was on eBay in the same grade. It's like a different copy, but in the same grade. And I was like, oh, I can pick it up for $150 cheaper on eBay. So I just quickly checked out on eBay afterwards. So sometimes, you know, people get caught up in the bidding and they overpay for comics on Heritage. And that's what happened in this case. So I was quite happy to get this one. Now, I'm a little bit disappointed just by the way it's been sleeved, because if you notice, obviously it's probably a detached cover. Cover and first wrap detached, right? So that's what it says on the thing. Actually, very nice presenting cover. The only problem is, because it's detached, it looks like it's kind of slipped out the book. And you can see how it's like a little bit low on the top and a little bit low on the bottom. I almost feel like it should be re-encased so it could be aligned and held in tightly so that it's not putting stress on that spine and on the cover itself. So I'm a little bit surprised by that. But other than that, it's quite nice. It's a Tony Mortatello. I probably messed that up. But that's who did the cover. Very cool book from 1952, Mr. Mystery #7, and it's cool to finally have a complete collection of Mr. Mystery. Very hard collection to complete because there's lots of, like, it's not just like one or two big books. It's like pretty much every single one in the title is like really expensive and really hard to get. Very cool title, a series. There's like 20 some odd books in the series, and all of them are really expensive. You know, it's got the one with the guy getting poked in the eye. It has the one where the guy's being boiled in a pot. It's just got some of these really outrageous covers. One that I actually have, but it's not here yet. It's really cool. It's like a woman on a like a water wheel or some kind of torture rack or something like that, and she's bound to that, and that's one of the covers. That's the last one that hasn't arrived yet. So once that arrives, then I'll truly have the complete collection. Okay, this next one is in rough shape, but I got it for a great price, so I can't really complain. I really do like Planet Comics. This one, you can see a big chunk missing from the front. But I still like it. I didn't pay much for it. So this is Planet Comics #34. It is, who did the cover? Joe Doolin cover. It's a bondage cover as well. You got the girl. There's actually, in this spot where where it's been ripped out, there's a guy dead on the floor there. But it's still a nice presenting cover. Okay, if I do this, oh wow, it's beautiful, perfect. So it is a 0.5, so it's not like I was expecting that much, but yeah, I got it for a great price. These books, these early Planet comics are quite expensive. Even in a 0.5, they can be very expensive, so I was happy just to get it. So yeah, so this is from Fiction House, 1945, and you get the you know, typical, like, you could be a big bodybuilder like me on the back. So yeah, like, that's gonna happen. Okay. Okay, next one is another really cool PCH book. This is Out of Shadows, #9. Yeah, #9. And it's just a really cool skeleton cover where he's coming home and he's in a wheelchair, and they're very shocked to see him. Till death do us part. And it's who did it? I think it's either Reed Crandall or Nick Cardy cover. I'm not sure who did the cover, but it has hanging panels. Now this one is restored. This book generally is a really pricey book. This does have restoration. It's a 3.5 restored. Amateur restoration includes moderate amount of color touch on the cover. Now, let me see. If I had my little flashlight, I could find the color touch. But when you have like these kind of black covers, it's really common that they like try to do color touch along the spine. So probably that's where it would be. Removing color touch on the spine, almost impossible, because what happens is if you try to remove it, you're going to have these big holes in the cover, and also it weakens the spine, so it's just basically impossible. So even if it's like minor, usually it's irreversible. It depends. Sometimes they use if it's A1 restoration, sometimes they'll use what's called like water soluble dyes or like inks. And what you can do actually is soak it and actually remove the color touch. But I doubt that is the case on this one. So yeah. But it presents really well. I don't really care about the restoration. And it's a blue label based on the fact that it's CBCS, and they only do blue labels, even though it's restored. But it does say at the top, you can see it says restored. I knew that buying it, so I got it for like a third of the normal price for it. So I'm not going to complain too much. Okay. Next one is one that I thought was really cool when I saw it. I actually convinced Steven to buy a copy of this too. Of course, he had to buy a higher grade copy, just that's how he is. But I was happy to get this one. This is Marvel Tales, number 104. And I just like the girl in the red dress. I just thought she was a bit of a headlight cover. Just a really cool cover. I thought, wow, that's really cool. Like, I mean, the girl's like super, super hot. And you got all these scary monsters attacking her. The Thing in the Mirror. And I believe it's a Russ Heath. Yeah, Russ Heath cover. It's just a really cool Marvel's Tales. One thing that's interesting, Marvel Tales, obviously by Atlas Comics, which is one of the imprints that Marvel used. They are so affordable. Like, compared to other like Precode horror comics, the Marvel ones are actually pretty affordable. Like, I'm used to like dealing with like these kind of really expensive Precode horror covers, comics that are like $1,000 a point or something insane like that. Well, this is more like hundreds of dollars per point, or $100 per point even. You can pick these up fairly affordably, which is very nice. I think they're a little bit underrated as Precode horror covers go, because I think the covers are quite nice. Kind of one of the detractions from the Marvel Tales and some of the Marvel Atlas books is the fact that they do this kind of side panel thing, which kind of reduces the overall appeal of the cover. Some people like that. I don't personally like when they do these side panels. I wish they would just show the full, like, cool cover. But definitely a cool book anyways. It has some Basil Wolverton art, Bill Everett art, and yeah, just really cool. And you got, what is it? You can win prizes on the back. So that's always useful. Okay, so that's that one. And last book from this section, I figured I should really balance out all the, like, this is all like like Precode horror stuff. I figured I should balance out with one good girl one, and it's a big one. And I got this on a Instagram claim sale. And the guy was actually being really nice to me. He gave me a really great deal on it. It's Diary Secrets number 21. It's a Matt Baker cover. And Matt Baker covers go for crazy money, but I think it was like $100 that I paid for this. It's like very inexpensive. Usually these go for $200 to $300. So yeah, so I was quite happy to get it for a great price. Really want to say thank you to that Instagram guy. This is from St. John Publications, 1953. It is a Dana Dutch text story. Now, if you're not familiar with Dana Dutch, he and Matt Baker worked together really brilliantly. So Dana Dutch was just this really great writer. He would write really spicy stories of teens kind of, doing bad things. Just really interesting, spicy stories. So, this is the mixture of a great artist and a great writer in Dana Dutch. It's interesting that they actually note that it includes a Dana Dutch story because of the quality of writing that he did. There's really not much known about Dana Dutch, but his legacy lives on in these diary secrets. So really great writer, and with a great artist, so perfect mix. So that was this part. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned. We got 2 more episodes to go, and the finale is going to be pretty awesome. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.